Queen Tulsa, baby. Your favorite shade, your hottest tea, and your headline queen. The Wendy Williams of YouTube, iconic, epic, and always petty when I need to be. Queen Tulsa, I'm the queen of YouTube. I'm the Wendy Williams of YouTube. Treat me right, I'll treat you right. Treat me wrong, I'll treat you wrong. Hit that like, I don't bite. Hit that like, I promise you'll like. Cameras on, baby, I control the stage. Every headline bends when I set the page. Hot topics burn, I deliver with grace. Shady little smirk while I give you faith. From the gossip rooms to the YouTube fight, turn petty words into sleepless nights. If I say it stops here, then it's all through. No one drops tea like I go. I'm the queen of YouTube. I'm the Wendy Williams of YouTube. Treat me right, I'll treat you right. Treat me wrong, I'll treat you wrong. Hit that like, I don't bite. Hit that like, I promise you'll like. Like and subscribe, let the numbers climb. Serving raw truth with a touch of divine. Breaking news, baby, I say it bold. Every word drips, hotter than gold. Discussing cases, I keep receipts. I'm a boss in heels with the fire and heat. You want the tea, I'll pour it smooth. I'm Queen Tulsa, baby, I set the mood. Sweet on the lips, but sharp when I speak. But my shade unique, iconic, epic, I reign supreme. Queen Tulsa, the boss, I'm the headline queen. Don't get it twisted, baby. You came for the gossip, but you stayed for the queen. I don't chase views, views chase me. Now sip that tea, and don't forget to hit that like. Queen Tulsa, I'm the queen of YouTube. I'm the Wendy Williams of YouTube. Treat me right, I'll treat you right. Treat me wrong, I'll treat you wrong. Hit that like, I don't bite. Hit that like, I promise you like. And remember, if I say it stops here, it stops here.
Yes, it does. All right. So listen, Cece versus the family. The greedy betrayal you never saw coming, but I did. Anywho, 2024 Queen Tulsa, all rights reserved, not for redistribution. The gang is here. In today's video, Cece and her cousins finally sit down to address the elephant in the room, and it gets intense. What started as a family discussion quickly turned into a battle over money, loyalty, and who really has whose back. You won't believe how fast things change when the stakes get high. Okay. Now, RIP Mo 3. We're going to have a tribute. We're also we're sharing our honest reactions to his music, his incredible journey from nothing to a pillar of the community, and why his legacy continues to live on. Now, what we'll be getting into in this video is a betrayal, why the cousins turned on Cece, money versus blood. Can family survive greed? Special guest. Let's go ahead and get into our special guest. We can start off with her. Let's go.
I'm just really here to clean house. Okay? I got a clean house. I've been quiet for 5 years, sitting back watching everybody run amok. Snakes, snakes, rats, roaches. I've been desperately wanting to talk and say things. But again, I'm not on your time. I'm on God's time. Not even on my own time. I walk in the spirit. All right? I'm a church usher. Yeah, I do comedy too. And now, y'all, I do comedy in LA and Hollywood with Lynette.
So Sky is a church usher. The cousins, they sing in a choir. Their mama is the director. I need y'all to pick up on this. Pick up what she's putting down.
That was my home. Industry's my passion. That's my gift. That's my talent. Trying to do my own thing, doing my little comedy now. But the streets done told me I can clear house. Yep. And with Baby and with Rainwater. It's behind all of this. Not only this shit that's with 3. Baby, now Rainwater's behind the shit with 3, but Baby's behind everything bad. Everything bad came from Baby. Everything nasty. Everything bad come from Baby. But when it comes to 3, it was Rainwater. But Baby had something to do with it too, because he could have stopped it. They got scared of me. They got y'all in jail. But not me.
Okay, so Sky says she's not scared. She was working with Rain. And listen, she's going to let us know that Rain had taken some money, was supposed to be taking some money to Miss Nicole, but Rain shorted Miss Nicole. Okay. Now these are all the key players. This I'm just taking it from her words. This is what she's saying. I've got to break this down. Let's go.
Come to me if they do something to you. Clean the house. So Rain comes over to the house. He bring the bag. He bring him up in my room. Black Nike duffel bag. Got everything in it.
Black Nike duffel bag has everything in it. Rain goes to see Scott with Mo3's merchandise. Why is he doing that? Why would he do that? Why would he take things to her first? Why wouldn't he go and consult with the family, the mom, as she puffs on her cigarette?
Got the money. About 80,000. He got the hard drive. That was the main thing. I want to make sure we got.
So Rain had $80,000. He had what did she say? I'm gonna take it back. My IG is Goddess Toaster Radio. Here, I'll put it in the chat. Give me 1 second. While I put that in there, I want y'all to listen to her.
In my room. Black Nike duffel bag. Got everything in it. Got the money. About 80,000. He got the hard drive. That was the main thing. I want to make sure we got.
So she wanted to make sure they got the hard drives. Absolutely. Absolutely. Get into that. And if you want a quicker response here, this is my number. This is my show number. This is my call-in number, 437-4865. Hopefully that's it. This is my business number. That's the show's number. You would be better getting me on the 405 number. All right, let's go ahead and take a listen. Hold on, let me see if that's the right number. 405-437-4865. Okay, so yeah, that's my show number. So you can call, text, and you can stay anonymous. I like for anybody that gives me information. Okay, that's fine. That's perfect. You can call. Okay. Do it however you want to. There's my Instagram. Okay, that's fine. All right. Let's get into it. If y'all have any information, feel free here. Let me put my email in here. Let's get into it. All right, let's go. This is Scott speaking.
It's hard drives. Look at them, about 340 songs on the hard drive. I know Empire already had 60. And the studios had 60. I called down the Smith. I mean, you got 60.
So she calling around to the music companies, asking them how much music they have. She said Empire has 60. Empire, let's get into it.
Empire, they sitting on theirs. So he bring everything to the house. I told him to get. I go through the bag, look at everything that's in the bag, the gun in the bag. But mind you, I'm in the midst of trauma. There's a million things going on. Not really paying attention. I just want to make sure all his shit that need to get got was got. Gun in there, the money in there, the jewelry in there, the work in there.
So you have some work in there. Now, if anybody knows what work is, y'all know that's drugs. So you didn't went and brought the drugs, the money, the gun. You brought it all to Scott. Why would you bring all that to her?
to make sure everything not here, right? You take it to Miss Nicole. You ain't take nothing out. Nothing. Take it to Miss Nicole. Tell her we're gonna take her everything. Don't worry about nothing. You do it. He shouted the money. Call Miss Nicole and asked her did she get 80,000.
So Rain shorted the money. Call her and ask her if she got $80,000. Listen, this man been playing with that lady. But what I want to get into tonight is they were having like this Mo3 debate, and I don't know. It was very different. It was a panel full of people up there. It was very interesting. This lady named, what was her name? I don't know, but it was some drunk lady. She was on a panel and she was just like doing way too much screaming and hollering and falling over, and I don't know what she was doing. But I did catch a little bit of tea, child. Listen, let's get into this.
I don't know. They get in the motherfucking car.
Hold on.
I don't know no street nigga that get in the motherfucking car without putting this shit on his lap when he ride. And he knows
But it's true.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, listen, I was out there. Like, my teenage years in the 80s.
You been in the car with no three.
I ain't putting no shit nowhere. I'm putting them on my motherfucking.
You want to tell the story when you was with three and they were following y'all out there in Denison or some shit?
Nah, I don't want to tell it.
Well, why not, Farago? Why don't you want to tell us about you in a car with Mo3 and some people was following y'all? Huh? Can we run that back one more time? Hold on.
I don't know no street nigga that get in the motherfucking car without putting this shit on his lap when he ride. And he knows
But it's true.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, listen, I was out there. Like, my teenage years in the 80s.
You been in the car with no three.
I ain't putting no shit nowhere. I'm putting them on my motherfucking.
Tell the story when you was with three and they were following y'all out there in Denison or some shit.
Nah, I don't want to tell it. But what I'm saying is this: from a street, I don't know.
Her big mouth ass. Now, one thing 88 gonna do, she always gonna give it up. You said how long you gonna be live? I'll be live for about probably like 30 more minutes. Oh no, I'm a be on here for a minute, but I can take a break. I can step away because I want to show y'all this good old footage, honey. We got to take it back to the basics. We gonna be looking at this court, okay? And I want you guys to know that Yellow Beezy, his grandma, she retired from the courts, so she knows how the courts work and all that good stuff. Okay. But what I want y'all to hear is this.
Street nigga, they get in the motherfucking car without putting this shit on his lap when he ride. And he knows
But it's true.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, listen, I was out there. Like, my teenage years in the 80s.
You been in the car with no three.
I ain't putting no shit nowhere. I'm putting them on my motherfucking.
You want to tell the story when you was with three and they were following y'all out there in Denison or some shit?
Nah, I don't want to tell it. But what I'm saying is this: from a street.
How your daughter throwing you up under the bus?
They were doing.
And that's why I feel like hygiene was so goddamn important. Get the fuck.
Damn, come on, man.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, fuck all the gay shit. I don't give a fuck who he fuck. None of this shit. Nigga, that's the key to getting out this goddamn country.
They were doing.
Well, of course. Listen, Farago don't mind using men. He was around men for 25 years. Okay, listen, he knows a man. Okay, Farago said, let me get in there, let me finesse him. Let me bring out some of these jailhouse tricks I got up my damn sleeve. You get them over here. 88, your job is to reel people in, and then everybody else makes they move.
be contempt of court and be locked the fuck up.
For real, for 90 some days. Try to keep.
These folks ain't playing.
I just don't know which side to sit on. I'm gonna just have to sit in the middle.
Well, if you goddamn it don't know what side, then you sit on motherfucking yellow side.
No, I'm sitting in the middle.
Cause we know what side over here. This Mo 3 sector. So what the fuck you here for?
Because I'm unbiased and I get down to the facts. So I don't have nothing against no side. Wait a minute. So what?
Y'all can't fuck these things. Be contempt of court and be locked the fuck up.
For real, for 90 some days. Try to keep.
These folks ain't playing.
I just don't know which side to sit on. I'm gonna just have to sit in the middle.
Well, if you goddamn it don't know what side, then you sit on motherfucking yellow side.
No, I'm sitting in the middle.
Cause we know what side over here. This Mo 3 sector. So what the fuck you here for?
Because I'm unbiased and I get.
First of all, didn't she say that she wasn't going to cover the case? But didn't she get off of YouTube for a certain amount of months and she went into like hiding or something? Y'all make this make sense. But let's get into this. Let's go. Oh. Okay, let's play. Oh, this is somebody recording from outside. Oh, girl, what is up with the news people? Oh. Okay, this is gonna be short. This is gonna be real short. But let's get into this. Let's see what she says in court. For some reason, it keeps blanking out, y'all. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know what's going on with it. Here we go.
To the individuals present and involved in this conversation. The state's witness will also testify to Marquise Conway, the defendant, being present and involved in this conversation. The state's witness will testify to the amount of money that was to be paid for the murder. A state's witness will testify to the individuals responsible for the payment. That state's witness will also testify that Marquise Conway was one of the individuals responsible for a portion of that payment. A state's witness will also testify to the individual who would receive this payment. The state's witness will testify that Kewan White was, in fact, the individual to receive this payment, who was originally indicted in State's Exhibit Number 1, the probable cause, which is before this court. The state's witness would also testify that Kewan White, or to who shot and killed Melvin Noble. This witness would also testify to Kewan White being the individual who shot and killed Mr. Noble on November 11th of 2020. Again, this conversation took place in the days following Mr. Noble's murder. The state has also had an opportunity to review bank records of the defendant, Marquise Conway. These records would show that the defendant drew $40,000 in the days following the murder of Melvin Noble. And for the record, that was a cash withdrawal. These records would correspond to the exact amount which the state's witness would testify to. In reviewing these records, the state also became aware and believed that they would show that the defendant had anywhere between $800 and $900, but more specifically, $870,000 between a checking account and a savings account with one particular bank. $370 of which was in a checking account, a little over $500,000 which was in a savings account. The state at this time would like to publish to the court what's been marked as State's Exhibit Number 3, which is the video of the offense. Thank you, Your Honor.
Now, before that's published, could I just address something with the prosecutor and the proffer? Sure. So it's clear for the record that as he recited, the state's witness, his proffer is, that's just one witness.
Correct.
Not multiple witnesses. And that I don't recall if the specific in the proffer was when the date that this witness purported to hear this conversation.
I do not have the specific date written down, but I know it was in the days following the offense. We do have evidence of when this could have taken place based off of cell phone data of when the defendant was in another state and then we came back to Texas. So we believe we have a time frame. As far as the exact date, I do not have it this time.
Anything else, Mr. Smith?
No, Your Honor. Permission to publish, Your Honor.
Yes. You don't want the lights off?
It's at the court's discretion.
Oh.
And Your Honor, this is, just for context, this is approximately noon on I-35 heading northbound. This video is taken from a Kroger 18-wheeler, and this is heading north I-35 into downtown Dallas on noon on November 11th, 2020. Now, Your Honor, if I could draw the court's attention, if you look on I've stopped this video at 19 seconds. You see a gold sedan in the far left lane and a black sedan in the second lane to the left. The gold sedan will be the vehicle carrying the victim, and the black sedan is the vehicle driven by Kewan White, who is then the shooter, based off of the evidence we have. Your Honor, I'm going to stop this at 1 minute and 37 seconds. The victim does not return into the frame. The only other things that the state would like to proffer as far as this bond hearing, since the court does not have a probable cause affidavit, of course, this is a grand jury referral. Defendant Q1 White was also indicted. You do have his murder probable cause affidavit from 2020. He was also indicted at that same time in cause number F21-75377 for Dr. Randall Graham, who also sustained injuries, a neurosurgeon who was heading north on I-35 that day and was struck as well. However, he did survive. And finally, Your Honor, the last thing that I would proffer at this time would be that there were a total of 44 fired cartridge casings, all from the same style of firearm as far as the caliber that were recovered on the freeway on November 11, 2020. And at this time, Your Honor, state the rest.
The defense.
Judge, this time we call Ms. Alexander to the stand.
All right, y'all. I think this grandma. Oh yeah, that's grandma. Okay, this is grandma. Grandma, like I told y'all before, grandma retired from the Dallas County. So she's familiar with the courts and everything. And I want y'all to get into grandma. It seemed like grandma took her damn edible before she went up on the stage. And guess what? Grandma about to get up there and start giggling and sniggling. And she's gonna think it's a game. But she's gonna fuck around and find out that it's not real soon.
Now raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that in all matters before the court, you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Ms. Alexander, could you introduce yourself to the court and spell your last name for the court reporter?
Yes, my name is Alma Jean Alexander, Alexander. I'm Marquis' grandmother.
She's Marquis' grandmother. Now look how she gonna try to protect grandma's baby. Now I'm gonna let this roll through. I want when I get to the part where she's doing too much, then I'm gonna stop it. But I want you all to just pay attention to what she's saying, how she's saying it, and her body language. And y'all kind of let me know. Do y'all think maybe she took an edible or something before she went to court? Let's get into it.
Ms. Alexander, are you currently employed?
No, I retired from Dallas County in 2014.
Now, when you tell the judge you retired from Dallas County in 2014, what was your occupation?
Dallas County in 2014, letting the courts know, hey, I've worked for the courts. I've got a connection. Let's get into it.
Deputy clerk.
And just for the record, a deputy clerk, what does a deputy clerk do?
Process paperwork from the attorneys for the judge. Basically handle the paperwork for the courts.
And this is the building that you were employed, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And back in the clerk's room, where in the old days, we had a lot of paperwork. Lawyers would take the file, take it back to the clerk. You would handle the file stamps and put all the papers into the file.
And type up the judgments.
Type up the judgment. Can we back up a little bit? Just tell the judge a little bit about where were you born and when did you move to Dallas County?
I was born in Washington, Arkansas. I moved to Dallas County when I was 11. So I've been here like 63 years.
And being Marquise's grandmother, Could you explain the dynamics of your family as far as where are they located and how many grandchildren do you have and where does Marquise fall in the family relationship?
Okay, Marquise was my first grandson, first grandchild. I have 11 grandchildren and 8 great grands. Of course, Marquise being the first grandchild, we were always close because you're excited with your first grandchild. So you try to do everything you can and instill in them good values. Uh, he's been a godsend to a lot of his family members. He helps everybody in the family. I know it's hard sometimes because when you have people pulling on you and you just trying to stretch money, it doesn't always pan out. But he's always helped whenever needed. Uh, he's
Let, let
just
me
been,
let me interrupt you just a minute. When you say, let's just go back a little bit. Did he go to public schools here in Dallas County?
yes, he did.
Was he born and raised here in Dallas County?
Yes, he was.
And does he currently work here in Dallas County?
Yes, he's an entertainer.
Okay, and as an entertainer, so we can explain to the court what type of entertainment does he do?
Music,
And has he done well in his music career?
yes,
And in the music career, you have a persona, is that correct?
yes.
Okay. And it's a persona out there for your career is different with the family fold, is that right?
Right.
Uh, him being your grandson, did he go to church here in Dallas County?
Yes, he went to church with me often. That was one of my requirements when he'd spend the weekend.
And how often do you talk and have a relationship with Marquise?
When he's in town, 2 or 3 times a week. When he's out of town, sometime once a week.
His his relatives, are they here in the courtroom today?
Yes. Yes,
And is his mother back there in the courtroom?
yes, she is.
Okay, and for the record, could you just tell the is that Miss Kimberly Rush?
Right.
Is his family here? Are they all here in Dallas County or Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex?
Vicinity, yes.
Are you here to just tell the judge he has sufficient ties to this community?
Yes, he does. He does.
Now, as far as does he have any children?
Yes, he has 2 sons,
And how old are his children?
5 and 7.
Is he? Have you observed him being involved in his children's life?
Yeah, we go to football games for the little ones all the time. He's always got them in sports.
Okay, so he's out there in the community coaching up his sons and other kids that play on the football team.
Yeah, I call him the Joe Jackson of the sports.
You call Joe Jackson being Marquise?
Yeah,
Now, why in the hell would she say Joe Jackson out of all people? Joe Jackson was beating the hell out of his kids. Joe Jackson was prepping those kids to jump up on stage. That's why I said, is she high? Did she do an edible so her eyes is just all they tight? She can it look like they ain't even open. What's wrong with Granny?
Joe Jackson was Michael Jackson's father. You know how he pushed them to be great and good. So I said that's what he's trying to do with his boys.
I'm glad you cleared that up. There's other Joe Jacksons, but yes, I can get that Joe Jackson would be well involved in his family. So
Yeah.
you're telling the judge he's from Dallas County, significant ties, and he's involved with his family. As far as you're aware that he is been arrested for this charge
Yes.
of payment for hire for a murder. And this happened back in 2020. You're aware, you saw the video and you heard the prosecutor talk about
Yeah, on Facebook.
their version of the facts.
Right.
How long has he been in jail?
Oh, 8 days since last Thursday.
The bond set at $2 million. Has he been able to post that bond and get out of jail?
He's still sitting here. No, he hasn't.
We're asking the court for a $250,000 bond based on, do you believe that Mr. Conway could post a $250,000 bond?
I'm pretty sure we can get it together.
And are you telling this court that he's not able to post a $2 million bond?
No, it's not.
That's witness.
Cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Alexander.
Good morning.
My name is Tommy Adams. If you have any questions with my questions, if I don't form them in a good way, please just ask me to repeat myself and I will do so, okay?
Okay.
I appreciate you being down here. I'm sure this is not an easy day for you. So, thank you. You worked for the Dallas County within the clerk's office up until 2014, correct?
Correct.
Now, Ms. Alexander, are you aware that there was a bond schedule that judges could set bonds on different level offenses within this courthouse?
Yes.
And are you aware that that bond schedule has since been done away with and was subject to a federal lawsuit against all the district judges within Dallas County?
No.
Now, when you talk about your grandson being an entertainer, I mean, he's more than just an entertainer, correct?
Yes.
He's in fact a double platinum artist, correct?
Right.
Now, going back to 2020 and the years leading up to that, well, let me ask you this. Are you aware of your grandson owning a 2017 Denali?
Yes.
And what is special about that Denali?
It's bulletproof.
It's bulletproof. Now, Ms. Alexander, I can't imagine in all your years working here at the clerk's office that you ever felt like you needed a bulletproof vehicle.
I don't need one.
Now, Ms. Alexander, would you agree with me that in 2020 and the years leading up to 2020, that there was a lot of stuff going on in the city of Dallas surrounding, and to be quite honest, our victim, Melvin Noble, and your grandson, Marquise Conlon?
I try not to delve into Facebook and hearsay because I know him for myself. So,
Well, let me ask it this way. Are you aware your grandson was shot in Plano?
yeah, I was there.
You weren't there at 3 a.m., were you?
I was at the hospital.
Correct. Okay.
Mhm.
But you would agree with me that even if you're not on Facebook, I mean, this stuff was on TMZ. I think your grandson even did an interview on TMZ with those folks on my TV about this. So you're aware that there was a back and forth going on in this city involving your grandson as well as Mr. Noble, the complainant in this capital murder case. You're aware of that at least, right?
Yes, somewhat.
Okay. Is that the reason your grandson felt the need to get a bulletproof Denali?
No, he felt the need because people are jealous and you don't know who's going to do what, when, or where.
Now, are you aware of whether or not he had to, if a Denali comes that way off the lot, or if you have to actually pay money to get something like that done?
I have no idea how it happened, where it happened, why it happened. I just know he had it.
Sure. And as far as your grandson being in custody for approximately 8 days, defense asked you initially how long he'd been in jail and if he was able to make it. $2 million bond, and your initial answer was no, he hasn't. And then when they followed up with whether or not he can make a $2 million bond, that's when you said no, he cannot. Correct?
Right.
Now, especially with all of your experience here in the county and working in the clerk's office, you're aware that when somebody has a $2 million bond, they can pay only 10% of that. Correct?
Yes.
With the bondsman's help. Now, your grandson is a double platinum recording artist, correct?
Correct.
And he lives in a mansion in Frisco, correct?
Correct.
And he has houses in other states, correct?
I'm not aware of that.
Are you aware of him paying and helping to support other individuals in the family and also extended family and friends?
I'm not into his business like that.
You'd agree with me that your grandson is substantially well off, correct?
He might used to be, but if he could make a $2 million bond, he'd be out.
Would you agree with me, though, that there's a difference between can, want to, and choosing not to?
I'm aware of all of those things, but I know he don't want to be in here, so I know if he could afford it, he'd be out. Plus, he has other bills. He don't just have money laying around.
Sure. Now, Miss Alexander, if I wanted to reach out to Miss Rush, your daughter, what would be the best phone number to reach her at?
She's not my daughter.
Okay. Mr. Conway's mother, if I was going to reach out to her, what would be the best phone number to reach out to her at?
You don't have that?
Reach out to her, not me.
Judge, I'm going to object to bantering with the witness and relevancy here. We're kind of veering off to and getting in discovery. The state hadn't showed us their case. They made a proffer here. It seems like they can do their discovery outside the courtroom.
Objection overruled. You may proceed. Ma'am, you need to answer the question.
What was it?
If you were going to call Miss Rush, what number would you call her at? If you need to check your phone, I'd be.
Thank you. Two 1-4.
Again, I'm going to object to this as far as being public information and getting out to the public. This is a media case. This is an improper question. I know the judge has overruled me on this, but there is a fear of this getting out.
Well, it's out there now.
I would ask the court to seal the number the prosecutor had.
The court's gonna overrule your objection. I do understand and appreciate the concern that it was publicly announced. So I'm going to ask, you're asking that it be sealed?
I'm asking that it be sealed from the public. And the court has heard it, considered it for this bond hearing, and that this not be published outside of the courtroom. The media sitting outside of the courtroom. And I think there's a legitimate fear of us here, just like the state has their concerns. So that was my objection.
The court will grant that objection.
To
Sustain that objection. You can use it for your purposes only. It cannot be published to anyone else.
Okay, sure. And Your Honor, the reason I'm asking, I'm going to have another question too,
Go ahead.
is that in State's Exhibit number 6, which is the confidential affidavit of financial conditions, in which the defendant is asked to provide an emergency contact number, the only emergency contact person he lists is himself. And the problem with that is that number that he listed for himself is according to Ms. Alexander, the same number. So I'm just trying to clear some things up. We don't have anything on the information here.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Ms. Alexander, my follow-up to you is that if you were going to call your grandson 8 days ago, what number would you call him at? And if the defense wants this portion to be sealed, I'm fine with that too, but I think this is important information, Your Honor.
Well, could we have a write it down, perhaps?
That's fine.
Sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
Defender to defense looks remarkable. States exhibit number 7.
Okay.
State's exhibit number 7 is admitted.
Now, Ms. Alexander, you testified that your grandson has significant ties to this community, correct?
Yes,
Born and raised in the greater Dallas area.
correct.
As far as how much time he spends in the city of Dallas, or more or less Dallas County and the surrounding areas at this point, do you know approximately how much time he spends in the greater Dallas area per month?
I'd say 3/4 of the time.
3/4 of the time. Now, just as far as his ability to travel and nature of that, like planes and getting around, you're aware that he travels quite a bit via private jet, commercial, all of that, correct?
Yes.
Does he have access to his own private jet?
No.
Do you know approximately how often he does fly private?
No, I don't.
But when he does that, he would be having to pay for those bills as well, correct?
Correct.
Do you agree with me that flying private is not the cheapest thing in the world to do?
Yes.
Nothing further from the state, huh?
Anything else from the students?
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You can step down. You have another witness?
Judge, I was gonna make the proffer we discussed, back in chambers. May I make a proffer, Your Honor?
Yes.
Judge, a lot of us have been down here at this courthouse for 30 years. I'm not gonna go over the law. I know you understand, the bail bond, how we have new law. I just wanted to point out in some of these cases where there's high profile, in the state versus Michael Lucky, that was a capital murder case. That was in criminal district court number 7, the court that we're in. That was a high profile case. That case involved an NBA player that was initially set by the magistrate in the jail with a probable cause affidavit, where they had knowledge of the facts from what the police said. And that bond was originally set at $500,000. It was later reduced by the court to $100,000 with conditions. Co-defendant in that case, Larry Jenkins, cause number F2076397. This is the same set of facts case where the magistrate with a probable cause affidavit set it for $750,000. Another case in the state of Texas versus Antoine Franklin, capital murder case 522-76141. This involved a famous football player out of Oklahoma. That case was set by the magistrate for $500,000. Again, probable cause affidavit. It was later reduced by the court to $200,000. Judge, in dealing with the bond schedule, you have bond conditions here that require electronic monitor. They have several conditions of probation, check-in, and curfews. We're proffering to the court here that the court has set bonds down here in Dallas County where the typical murders range between $150,000 and $200,000, and a capital murder can range, in these cases, in between $500,000 and $750,000, where the magistrate set it. The thing in this case that we're proffering, the magistrate had no probable cause affidavit they had no facts. And in this case, we're asking the bond to be reduced in these facts. We'll argue here, but I just want to proffer those three cases.
All right, anything else?
We're closing and we'd just like to argue.
Okay, state.
Your Honor, I would just, if I could, just briefly, I would also like to proffer just two cases since defense has brought up some cases that have come here from Dallas County. The first one I would like to bring up is F2475475. Defendant's name is Chaz Booth out of the 194th Judicial District Court. He's currently sitting in jail on a capital murder charge for $2 million. That defendant is not a celebrity, a basketball player, a football player, a musician, an artist, or anything like that.
Okay, what's the bond on that one?
$2 million.
Oh, 2 million.
He is a 20-year-old who is charged with capital murder. Additionally, we have Jordan Owens, who was recently sentenced F2377243, also a capital murder, and his bond was set at $1.5 million, and I believe that was in the 282nd Judicial District Court. And that's, as far as cases, I'm not going to keep going with. I'm not going to go back and forth. So that's all we have as far as rebuttal and trial.
Your arguments?
We'll waive and reserve the right for rebuttal.
All right.
Judge, I'll begin and then Ms. Crucio will finish up. Your Honor, as you know, under 1715, the court considers certain facts in the bond reduction hearing and determining whether to reduce the bond. Here in this hearing, the court has before you been introduced two arrest affidavits. There is not the arrest affidavit of our client, that does not exist, but you do and have reviewed the arrest affidavits of Kewan White and Mr. Brown. Those arrest affidavits were taken on Kewan White was December 8, 2020, Devin Brown, March 18th of 2021. The offense itself is approximately 4 years and 4 months ago when it occurred. You carefully review those affidavits and set out how the offense, and you saw the video. Nowhere in those affidavits is there any mention of our client, any mention of his role, any mention of connection to this case in either one of those affidavits that you have before you that you can consider. As far as the proffer given by the state, they choose what they can proffer. They said they have one person who overheard a conversation after the incident that happened on the highway in which he heard money being discussed and our client present at that during that conversation about paying money. You received no information in the proffer as to the credibility of that witness, if they have a bias or a motive for coming forward now at this time, 4 years, 4 months later, with this information. You only have you don't even have a proffer that this was a confidential informant, which you know requires some type of vetting, just that it's a person who said they were present during this one conversation. And that's the only evidence that you have before you this hearing that connects you to this offense. The state also proffered a bank record that said there was after the incident in November of 2020, there was a withdrawal of $40,000 cash. No proffer was made as to if that money was traced anywhere to the other defendants charged in this offense. You've received no information of a text message, any message on social media platform that our client paid for this murder, any type of remuneration, no recording of any sort, just this person who came forward and said he overheard this conversation. As far as the bank records go, the only thing in evidence before the court are records that were back in 2020 when they quoted two different accounts which accounted for $800,000. You've heard no evidence as to his current financial bank records and what is in there. You only have before you testimony of the defendant's grandmother who told you he cannot make the bond, has not been able to make the bond, and cannot make the $2 million bond. I'll let Mr. Cece finish with the other
Part to the argument.
Judge, thank you. I'm not gonna go back over what, Mr. Shook said. What the court has before you is a case that's been investigated for 5 years. And my client, Conway, is a citizen of this community that has no flight issues. He has not left this community. He stays in this community. His family is sitting right back here in the courtroom that showed up to support this community. A big factor of this is that he has significant ties to this community. The current bond conditions that you have in place with a leg monitor would be whatever concerns that the state may have or the court may have to know where he is. His grandmother has worked down here and understands how to communicate with the court. We have people and the bond restrictions of that. The court is aware of how significant the bond restrictions are in keeping them and writing a bond. Judge, we're coming at this this is a significant, oppressive, and punitive bond, and under the law, in our opinion. We believe that the magistrate, when she set this bond, did not have any evidence in front of her and set it high. We also believe that after 8 days, had he had the money, he would have posted it, and he's sitting here in jail. And that those cases that the state and I have talked about, the court is well aware of a wide range that you have, but given these facts that Mr. Shook went over with no corroboration, we don't know anything about their case, this witness, who they are, the court doesn't. And given the facts presented, we're asking you to reduce this bond to an appropriate amount where he can abide by the conditions and come to court and we can fight this case.
Okay, thank you. State.
Yeah, sure. Just briefly. In regards to an individual's ability to pay the bond, Ms. Alexander testified specifically that she is not involved in her grandson's business and doesn't keep up with his financial stuff. So she really was not in a position to testify what he can and what he cannot afford. She did testify to the fact that he is a double platinum, I believe as of recently 2 weeks ago, recording artist, that he travels about a quarter of the month, that he lives in a mansion in Frisco, that he drives a Denali, a bulletproof Denali, which also will lead into safety concerns. So the only thing that the court has as far as ability to pay or not to do it, or not having an ability to pay this bond, is the bank records which I've proffered to the court, as well as his own grandmother saying that he's a successful artist living in a mansion up in Frisco, that flies on private jets and travels. The important thing about the Denali is not just the fact of the cost and all of that, but it's the fact that when we're talking about safety concerns for the community, one of the factors that the court should take into consideration is, if this individual were to get out, is there a viable safety concern? The fact that the defendant has a bulletproof vehicle and drove one at the time and was arrested in it 8 days ago, that should tell you all you need to know. And that's not just based off of pure jealousy. Your Honor has been doing this long enough to know that is based off of something much greater than just pure jealousy. As far as safety circumstances for the community, this is, as defense has stated, a very high profile case. And this defendant is very well known, not only locally, not only in the state, but nationally and internationally. The fact that this individual has the means and the resources and the reach to get to witnesses is a true concern that the court should also take into consideration. And that this was part of a bigger thing that was going on in 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, culminating in the death of Melvin Noble. The circumstances surrounding it are not only the offense in itself, but the circumstances building up to Mr. Noble's death. And Your Honor, I didn't want to go back and forth with defense on proffering cases of bonds and $2 million and $3 million bonds. But the truth is, this is a capital murder for remuneration. And the defendant is charged with paying other individuals to take another human life. And he has the financial means and the reach to do it. In fact, I think it's important that there was another victim. This was at noon on I-35 leading into downtown Dallas. 44 fired cartridge casings. Who knows how many others were knocked away by the cars that kept driving by. Melvin Noble was hunted down on November 11th in 2020, a beloved son of Dallas. It could have been so much worse, and that's a terrible thing to say when it's a capital murder for remuneration, where he has paid another man to hunt down and kill somebody in broad daylight. Your Honor, based off of all the testimony and the facts that have been presented in this court, we'd ask that you leave the bond where it's at, currently at $2 million.
All right, let me have the exhibits, and then if you all will give me about 10 minutes. I'll respond.
Scott, right, Your Honor.
Yes. The defense did not have any exhibits, right?
No, Your Honor.
And this is just the video, right? That
Yeah,
is
sure.
what it says. Anything else that I need to take with me?
And you had 1 and 2, so.
Yeah, I said that.
Okay.
Right. Thanks.
All right. All right.
You may be seated. Okay, go ahead and get the defendant back out. Okay, the court, is the court ready? Yes, Judge. All right, the court's ready to make my ruling. The court is going to reduce the bond to $750,000. The court took into consideration, certainly, the biggest consideration was the offense, the severity of this particular offense. It's pretty egregious to watch that video. But the court also took into consideration the evidence or lack of evidence that the state presented. That was a factor also. Another concern I had was the financial statement that the defendant was to put on file. He didn't seem to take that very seriously at all. And that causes me a concern about whether or not he's taking seriously the allegations against him. So I am going to set the bond at $750,000 with the bond conditions that were already set. But included on that, I want it to be very clear, Mr. Conway, that you are to have no contact, direct or indirect, no threatening or harassment of any victim, witness, co-defendant. If it's you or anybody on your behalf, there's going to be a problem. Do you understand that? Okay, you all can stand. I'm talking to you now. So that's going to be a concern. And then I want to make sure that you provide the court with correct information regarding your person of contact, because basically this affidavit seemed to be your way of saying, forget y'all. I don't want you up in your mouth. Yeah. seemed to be your way of saying, forget y'all. So you need to provide correct, accurate information regarding who is your person of contact should there be any type of problem. I hope that you're taking this seriously because your responses in this affidavit kind of indicate that you're not. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anything else?
No, you're gonna say, Your Honor.
Anything else from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.